Hi everybody, this is Alan with 4A's Racing Loft with an update. Unfortunately, it's not a good one, but it's part of everything that we do when we race pigeons. But before I get into a bad toss I had, just like to show everybody, I added some clear plastic, it's clear roofing, just to stop. We was having a week and a half where we had a lot of rain. And I had a lot of rain going into the loft, and I really didn't want that to create moisture and possibly ammonia underneath the loft to start coming up. So I'll put this up to stop the rain from penetrating. It's also a wind barrier, so it'll be great later in the season. Not too much right now, but we still have great air circulation because it's open flooring, high roof line, and I'm thinking the roof line is probably somewhere between 12 to 13 feet. Someone asked me that, and it's vented at the top. So I think it works. During the winter, it'll probably even be more functional to try to cut down on the draft. Well, look, I had to take some notes because there's a couple of things I wanted to share with you today. I actually had a bad toss. I was out of town for 4 days, came back, thought it would be okay to go ahead and take the birds on a toss, and I figured, look, I had them 23 miles, let me pull it back to 10 miles, and that should work. And I should have known better. Even though I've taken off 7 years, I should have known there was no way after locking the birds up for 4 days should I even try to take them down the road. I should have just loft flew them, and I paid for it. It was not good. I took them 10 miles, let them sit, did everything right, let them out the crate. Sun was clear, winds were probably 6-7 miles an hour, and when they came out of the crate and they only went up about 20 to 30 feet, I know I was going to have a problem. And to say the least, it went downhill from there, very much so. It really took an hour and a half before the first two birds got back. And after that, what were we saying? Probably ones and twos of birds coming in. I think the largest group that came in was 5, and we're talking, that was over probably an 8 or 9 hour span, which was very depressing. And I can't get mad at anybody. I can only get mad at myself. You can't lock your birds up for 4 hours and think you can take them on a toss. And if there was old birds, probably not a problem, but for young birds, it was a problem. I asked too much of them, and I paid the toll. At the end of the day of that toss, there was probably 11 birds out. Some that I thought were good birds, and and I know one was missing. It was a bird that very much stands out and still is not back unless it's come back today. I know where its perch is, and I do not see it. Hold on. It actually might have come back. So you know what, y'all? I'm going to put you on hold. This will make my day. Let me go run and take a look. It did. Well, you know what? That's a good sign. It did make it back. Wow, I did not expect to see it. I'm telling you, it's been more than 2 days. It's the white grizzle that's typically on one of the first or second drops that y'all have seen. Well, I'm going to say second, because I've been having singles come in on the tosses. It is back. It's back in the loft. I've been out 3, so I'm going to say I'm out 2 or less now because it made it back. So that is very good. I'm feeling much better. The next morning, my wife and I were sitting on the back porch, and we saw probably 7 birds come back, 7 or 8 that came back. The rest came back that we did not see. And they were coming from all over, north, south, east, west. It didn't matter. They were coming in. There was one that came in with two other birds, and I can clearly tell the way they were flying around the loft, and I'm sure y'all can understand when there's a bird with your birds, they don't want to come down. The others were coming in, hitting the landing board, going straight in. This bird, the group of birds was not. So one did hit the landing board, go in. The other two did not. And then one was standing on the edge of the roof line. I said, that is not my bird. It was too dark. I didn't have any birds that were that dark. And come to find out, I believe there were commons, which creates problems. So now your birds are in with commons. So you can run mites, you can run pigeon flies. What are they eating? What are they drinking? Are your birds sick? Do you have to treat? And I don't like treating. I don't like giving medication unless I have to. And right now I feel that I have to. I just don't know. There's some birds that are puffy. There's some birds that are down. I'll just let them out today, just a loft fly, just to clean out the loft, just to see. So maybe 20, 25 of them flew around a lot. Some just flew around maybe for 10 minutes or 15 minutes and come back in. And it's truly my fault. So I did something I shouldn't have done. I know the risk, and then I have some now that are stomping the feet. So I'm going to either have to spray them or dip them. I'm going to have to medicate them, and basically I'm starting all over. If I would have just loft flew them for a day or two, I could have probably got them back up to where I was, or maybe 5 miles short of it. But I rushed it. I shouldn't have rushed it. So now you pay the toll. So I do have birds out. Actually, there's a hen that got hit by a hawk. So on top of everything else that happened, there's a hen that got hit in a hawk. There was a hole right below her crop. I need to go in there and probably pull the feathers around and glue it back together to resolve it. So locked up 4 days. Winds blowing the opposite way. Even though it was 10 miles, I thought they could make it, and it was just a bad choice. So don't do it. So what should you do, or what would I do next time? If I'm out of town for more than 2 days, I'm going to loft fly for a day or two before I take them down the road, and I'm going to pull them back from maybe half of what they're gone, if not even more, maybe 6 to 10 miles, just to ensure that they flew around the loft for a couple of days. I can check them out. I can see if there's any problems. I did have a couple of today that were breathing hard. No one else was. So Hertz, I actually developed or came up with a schedule that's going to get me between now and the 22nd of how to get my birds out at least to 60 miles, 60, 65 miles, depending on weather and availability and time if I can do it. But I should at least be able to get them out to 65. Our first club race is going to be 98 miles for me. So we should be in a lot better shape. So be smart. I'm still making mistakes. I said that last time. If there's any mistake to make, I will do it. And I have. And hopefully I don't continue to do them. But this was a wake-up call because I've hurt my conditioning of my birds. I feel like I'm starting over. I got to get them back out to 6 miles, and I'm going to go to the same location twice. And it's going to be more so now on the race course because I'm getting short on time. Hopefully I will go ahead and ship the first race. I won't do anything that's going to endanger them. I got to give them an opportunity to compete and compete well. And the reason why they didn't was because of choice I made, not what they have done in the conditions. I just made a poor choice. So the good thing is, you know, the majority of the birds are back now. I was out 3. So if I'm out just 2, that's still good. But the damage has been done with the conditioning, the health, the training, medication I'm gonna have to give, which knocks them down, which I really didn't want to do. So lesson learned. Look, everybody, take care, be safe, give me a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe and share with others.